Big Talk Nation. Welcome back to another episode of the Big Talk Podcast with Chris and Greg. This is Chris.
This is Greg.
And we are listening to Testament, the New Order.
Second week of Heavy Metal Month.
Heavy Metal Month. I was going to go falsetto there, but I didn't think I could. Heavy Metal Month.
But we're doing Heavy Metal. You got to do it with it.
That's right, Greg. Gregory, if you will. We are week 2 of our third annual Heavy Metal Month. Testament, the New Order. I can't believe 3 years of this amazing month.
Oh, yeah.
Has come and gone.
Of just doing the Heavy Metal Month 3 years in a row.
Yeah, dude.
Heck yeah, dude. Time's flying.
This month, thrashing it up. Last week, you guys heard Pantera, Cowboys from Hell. This week, we got Testament, the New Order. Their second studio album, track 1, Eerie Inhabitants. One of those true thrash bands.
Yes.
From the early days. Actually, they came in a little bit later. Actually, they weren't there the early days, but back in the 80s, man, they definitely one of those bands that I don't really think. I mean, you got your big 4. If you went for a big 5, there's an argument they should be in there. There might be a couple others you might throw, but Testament's definitely got a foothold in the hearts of thrash fans all over the world.
Oh, hell yeah, man. And these guys are still going strong today. They may not be the same lineup,
yeah, but
there's still a good core of it, man, of them doing stuff. So I think Eric, the rhythm guitarist, he's taken a lot of the lead. Chuck, the singer, still in there. And, of course, my favorite, Alex Skolnick on guitar, is still plugging away today. And then they have, a couple other guys in the band. But this classic lineup, killer. Good stuff, man.
Yeah, you named 3 of them right there. Chuck Billy on vocals, Alex Skolnick lead guitar, Eric Peterson rhythm guitar, Greg Christian on bass, and Louis Clemente on drums.
Damn.
I was watching, we can talk about it a little bit later, but I was watching some music videos yesterday on MTV. We'll talk about it, when the songs come out in their videos. Man, I love watching the old music videos, dude.
Sure, me too, great. Man.
This album is from May 5th, 1988. And like we said, this was their second one. Their first album was Legacy. A lot, when you're looking at any Testament album ranking, excuse me, guys. I had to burp. Because we got the Brewery X. What is this? Battlesnake Pilsner. Where's the camera? There it is. When you demand only the best, demand, what is it called again?
Battlesnake.
Demand Battlesnake Lager.
Pilsner.
Only the best and only the burpiest.
Only the best for the Big Talk Nation on Heavy Metal Month. Say it one more time.
That's spelled MAY-TAL. Heavy Metal Month.
Oh, good. I spelled it right.
What are you making, flyers?
Yeah.
All right. You going to staple them to you going down Hollywood Sunset, dude?
Exactly.
Stapling them on. Whoever can get theirs highest.
Oh, I'll lose all the time.
Yeah, dude.
Let me get my ladder.
Greg and his 1.5 inch vertical. It's 1.5 inch. Vertical jump. 1.5 inch vertical. 1 inch, the other one. So, yes, this is, Legacy. You look on any Testament, ranking. But listen to this music, dude. That's
killer. Right?
It's like a freaking herd of freaking horses thunderously galloping at you, and you're scared for your life. Testament is coming at you, dude. Eerie Inhabitants. Fucking great opener. I like it was a little bit slower at the beginning. Gave you that it goes right. Eerie Inhabitants goes right with the song title.
Yes.
Like, oh shit, what is this? Something's going on. Here, let's smash you over the face, and then we're gonna come right in with the title track, The New Order, which is one of the standout tracks on this album, bar none.
Hell yeah. Like I said, I love it. You know what, dude? Sometimes I call it New World Order. It's in me to say it.
Because you are just too sweet.
Yes. But another great track I think the standout for Testament at this point in time is Alex Skolnick. He was always one of them that when they talked about the guitars, but him and Peterson are a great combo together. I love it. I think this is a great duo in the thrash world. Love it.
And when Skolnick left the band early 90s, he went to go do some like jazz and he doesn't really cross over the two into each other, but when you're playing and writing, there's times where you can't help with one to leak a little bit into the other. And I think that his interest in other kinds of music really lends. He's not your typical Testament songs aren't your typical, the riffs aren't your typical riffs, the solos aren't your typical solos. And that really differentiated themselves from a lot of the other Bay Area thrash bands, the Metallicas, Slayer, Exodus, some of those pioneers of the genre. They really do have kind of their own sound going. The Testament sound doesn't sound like really anybody else. Although I will say this, Chuck Billy's vocals at times sounds like a fucking super-powered, like James Hetfield, right? If James Hetfield was a really, really, really good singer, this is what he would sound like.
So I'm going to correct you just a little bit. It wasn't Slayer. That's part of the Bay Area Bash. So
I love it when Greg corrects me.
So Testament is called...
Happens once a month.
Yeah, it's called the Big Six of the Bay Area Thrash.
Oh, I didn't know there was a thing called
that. Right? Well, they had the Big Four, right?
Okay, well,
you have the Big Four.
Can I guess?
Sure.
Okay. Metallica?
No.
Wait, of the Bay Area?
Yeah. You have them already in the Big Four. Why are they in the six?
Oh, so is this some new thing that just put together like in the last year or two?
No, but in after Metallica took off from the Bay Area, they had other bands that started to come up from there. These are the bands that came up. That gave that
Exodus isn't in there because they were around at the same time as Metallica.
But they're in there.
Oh, so now okay.
So do you want me to say who it is? Or you want to guess?
Is it the thrash bands that weren't part of the Big Four?
Correct.
Go ahead.
Exodus, Death Angel, Lays Rocket, I've never heard that one, Forbidden, and Violence.
That was 5 bands.
And Testament.
Violence or Violence?
Violence. And Testament.
So you corrected me, followed it up with a trick question that I couldn't answer, and then gave me the answers, and then made me look like an idiot.
Normal stuff.
Well done, my friend.
Well done.
Well done. Well played, my friend.
Right.
It's a good day when you can make your closest friend look like an idiot on national, worldwide web.
Well, it's easy to do with you sometimes.
Dude, I
just kidding.
I don't usually trick people, but when I do, I trick Chris, and I trick the fuck out of him.
I'm still loving this. I think this is a great song.
Yeah.
It's just kind of, it's going through, man. Like you said, Chuck Billy has a certain voice.
Yeah.
And he's, I have to say, his voice kind of stays the same on this album. He doesn't fool around. They're still young. They're still finding their sound. They're still doing something like to put their feet on the ground in cement.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing with this. The next one, then that was the New Order. This is the third track called Trial by Fire. Mm-hmm. And this is, I want to say, the single for the album.
It is.
And,
absolutely.
And I know there was a music video. Did you see the music video?
Fuck yeah, dude. It's so awesome.
Right? There's a guitar on fire, and then it's inside a building, and they're just giving it all. And for some reason, there was like people running around. I didn't get that in mask, and I kind of was like, okay, cool.
This is so growing up in the 80s, going to watch Headbangers Ball at my grandma's house, as I always did. And by the way, I just want to say this: I didn't just go there just to watch Headbangers Ball.
It was a perk.
I also went there to watch professional wrestling. I went there to love my grandma.
And
mow her lawn.
Eat some grandma's cookies?
No, not really. I'd go mow her lawn.
Oh,
We'd go stay the night there.
Right.
We'd ride our bikes around town. Watch wrestling. Watch Headbangers Ball. And, just kind of hang out, dude. It was pretty, actually, fun time. But the video Trial by Fire video are the videos I remember watching back in the 80s where you were like, because you were used to seeing on mainstream MTV these Van Halens and Motley, like these videos are polished and slick and look like actually somebody. This one looks like somebody just pulled out their fucking VHS recorder and said, "Go. I need you guys to go run into this building quick. Look back like someone's following you. Now let me get you playing on stage."
Yeah.
Dude, they're awesome and they're very nostalgic looking back now. But in the time, those were the videos when you were watching Headbangers Ball. All right, I didn't get enough chips in my bowl. Let me go get some more. You know, because I wasn't into Testament back then either. I was into like the bands I just listed. I wasn't, I liked Iron Maiden, Priest, all those. They were a little more mainstream. But then you also had your rock bands. They were also on Headbangers Ball. Those were the videos I was looking forward to. I wasn't looking forward to Testament. I didn't know who the fuck they were.
Did you notice that the video also focused on like the guys playing instead of like their faces and them twirling their hair?
I have Skolnick's like hand memorized. Yeah, dude. And they show him ripping, dude.
Yeah, dude.
In that video, it's great.
Yeah, they did. This is a great song, dude.
This is a great song. Track 3, like you said, Trial by Fire. I love it.
Kicks ass, takes some names, man. It's just great.
Catchy little chorus.
Yeah.
One of those bands that kind of, you look back and you're like, man, these guys, and we do a lot of these bands. Why weren't they bigger? This band should have been bigger. This band really should have been bigger. And then more. So I've listened to this album a lot, and every time I listen to it, I'm like, these guys should be, it shouldn't be a big 4, it should be a big 5. And maybe you're going by album sales, maybe you're going by legacy. I know that, Skolnick left the band, and that really hurt their maybe long-term legacy following, because he didn't come back until like the early 2000s. He left for like a good 10 years or whatever. I think that really hurt them. But man, if you go back and listen to like their, anything up until like 92, you're getting that classic Testament sound, and it's great. They're all great, but this album is just super
classic
killer.
Duo of them just kicking ass and taking names, man.
Him and Peterson.
Yeah, him and
just
Peterson.
Double guitar attack, just great.
Yeah.
I love it, dude.
It's great, man.
All right, let's go to the next song.
All right.
This is one of my favorites on here.
It is.
This is Deep Cut City right here, and this just it doesn't remind me in any other, not musically, just the similarity of Caught in a Mosh and Into the Pit. It's that same kind of mosh pit anthem that Anthrax has.
Yes.
This is their mosh pit anthem, and I love it. I love how it's fast in your face, and then they come to the chorus and they break it down when they're saying into the pit.
Yeah.
I love it. It's just really just that change of pace within a song I really love, and they do it a lot. They do it in almost every song, but in this one it really makes the chorus just boom.
I think this is one of those staple songs that they've played throughout their career whenever they do live albums. Like this one, Trial by Fire, or some of the, hey, we're definitely playing those songs for everybody, and everybody goes crazy and wild and love it. So yeah, it's great, man. I agree with you on that, man. You know what? And thrash was a little differently when I was growing up, Chris. I think we've talked about it, where I was more into the Def Leppard and the Quiet Riots and the Motley Crue, the Pretty Boys. But later on in life, I did get to appreciate the thrash metal and other heavier other bands like that.
Well, yeah, I was into those bands as well. The person that got me into this music, and I may have never even experienced it at my age, was my brother.
Yeah.
He was big into thrash, Megadeth. There was always Megadeth going on, Overkill, bands like that, thrash bands. That was kind of the stuff that he was listening to, in addition to like the Misfits, stuff like that. He was the one that really influenced me, and I wasn't into as he was and still is, but that's what kind of got me into like, oh, okay, that's there. Okay, I'm going to remember that stuff is there, because I may want to listen to that later in life, but...
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Isn't this little...
Yeah, the breakdown and stuff
like that? It's like, back into it, dude, let's go. Really aggressive. The vocal style is aggressive, and it's straight through the whole album. This is a great album, guys. You ready to go to the next song?
Sure.
Here we go.
Woo. This next song.
Yes, I do know.
This next song is track 5, Hypnosis. And it's instrumental, but it just shows how good these guitarists are. Scott and Alex. Shows how great they are and how this just sounds phenomenal. And I was going to mention it on our last episode when we were talking about Pantera. I was a little surprised they never did an instrumental on a Pantera record. You know, but I guess, you know, Dimebag didn't want it, or it wasn't meant for be those kind of albums. But this works. It's awesome.
This is such a departure from anything we've heard so far.
Sure.
From everything we've heard so far, it's such a departure. Some people might just say, I fucking hate it. It's not thrash. It's not fast. But I don't think this song, to me, it works in two ways. Let's take a break. We just fucking ripped your face off. Let's take a breather.
Okay.
But you also really get to kind of focus in on Skolnick's guitar playing, just the way he, phrasing of the guitar, the way he writes a song, the way he plays, the way he makes it talk, speak, feel, emotion. Sometimes it's good to do that, to just show your audience and your fans that, you know what, we're choosing to do this Testament thrash, but look at what else we can do. That's why a lot of guys leave, do solo. That's probably why he left, so he could do some other stuff. Hey, yeah, Hypnosis, go. Let's show him a little something different. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't work. Here it works.
Yeah.
For sure.
It definitely worked. And putting it, you're right, Chris. We had 4 great thrash songs. Let's take a breather for a second, and now we're going to hit you again.
Yeah.
Song 6, Disciplines of the Watch.
Disciples of the Watch.
Sorry, Disciples of the Watch.
Here's one thing I don't like. This is my only criticism of the album. So you had Hypnosis. Very similar to this, right? The opening of this.
Okay.
I just don't like all the fade ins and out. Hypnosis plays, it fades out. Fade into this song, then this opening plays, and then this opening guitar is over and it fades out, and then into the meat of the song. They just should have kind of almost merged the songs together.
Oh,
maybe
okay.
Not had maybe just had a guitar amp into the next song or something to just separate them. It kind of makes it uneven it kind of makes it go, every time it does it, it goes, oh, here it goes, it's gonna fade out. It's like commercials during a football game. I don't need a commercial after the extra point, after the kickoff, and then after the offense runs their first play. You don't have to show me 3 commercials and show 1 play. They don't need to pause the song 3 times. Just let's go. So I'm being a little extreme about it. I'm being a little, extra, but they kind of smoothed it out.
Could this have been the producers putting his stamp of approval on this kind of stuff? Who produced this album?
Let's look. Tommy Coyne.
All right. Now, has Tommy done anything that we should know of?
Not that I know of.
Okay. But still, so he's probably a Bay Area guy. Mm-hmm. Probably knows the band, worked with them before, and they trusted them, and hey, this is the sound we need. Give it to us. Sounds great.
Yeah. I love this song, too. I love the chorus in the song.
Yeah.
Great, dude. They break it down. Headbang. This is definitely another one of those songs that they play a lot live. Crowd favorite. Anything you can get to sing along like that, fist in the air. Let's get, our 13 to 25-year-old men to sing along, fist in the air. They're going to want to come back and see us. They're going to buy our albums. They want those, kind of songs. Those are the funnest to go see, at any kind of show. And that's what this song is.
It's just grooving, bro. I love it, man.
Obey. Now I'm wondering if Disciples of the Watch, I kind of get this feeling I almost do get a feeling okay, so they had Into the Pit, right? Which is this is our, let's mosh it up, guys. I almost feel like this is almost has to do with the live playing of a song disciples of the watch. You guys are watching us. You're our disciples. Disciples, you know what I mean? In an ode to fans, like in a good way.
Yeah. Well, especially now when I would say either they're probably on tour on a regular basis, they got an album, and they're playing maybe bigger clubs than they were either the first album or before the first album. So, yeah, I can see that, something growing, people doing, you're watching us.
Listen to that.
Disciples of the Watch. Yeah, dude.
Skolnick can shred, dude.
You're not getting me that, man.
Listen to that. Probably some tapping right there.
He stood out a long time of being a great thrash guitarist.
Yeah.
And he proved himself to be a different type of musician, but when he goes back to this, he's still a king.
Yeah.
That's what you need.
Vastly underrated band and player. Skolnick for sure.
Yeah. You want to bring me to the next one, or you want to hold off and finish this up?
No, we can go to the next one. Let's go.
All right. Woo.
So I wanted to go back quick, and this is track 7, The Preacher. So Testament, they came out with their first album, Legacy, and pretty quickly the label wanted them to turn around. I'm sure a lot of people know this story. Wanted to turn around and say, hey, you guys, we need a new album. Let's go. So they were writing it on tour. They were writing it in writing sessions, whatever. It was something new to them because a lot of these other songs from Testament, like their first album, the band had been around in some, they were called Legacy first.
Legacy.
So they had all these incarnations. So you had past members writing and playing. So by the time they got to like their first album, all the songs were kind of already there.
Let's just say that.
Now this one, it's all from scratch. So it's really like their first experience as this core classic Testament lineup. So they wrote their songs, being unsure about themselves. They said, here it is. They didn't read the fine print in their contract that said each album has to have a minimum of 40 minutes. So it's my understanding that song Hypnosis, and I think the next song, Nobody's Fault, and I'm not even sure about the last song, Musical Death, if it was also, but I know Nobody's Fault, one of the instrumentals, and they had to kind of stretch a couple of the songs to get to that 40 minutes. So they're like, okay, we're going to throw in another instrumental. Let's do this cover song. Let's see if we can get it to 40. And every time I look at it, it says 39 minutes and 22 seconds. So I'm wondering the label's like, that's close enough.
Yeah.
Or maybe a little more silence in between tracks. Add 6 more seconds. Add this, add that, add this. And just kind of elongate stuff out. But that's a great story about how, one, you got to pay attention to your contract. But we'll talk about it during the next song. Sometimes some of the great stuff you do comes under that pressure. So, man, The Preacher, listen to this, dude. Get out of my face. It was great.
But didn't we always talk about that with sophomore jinx, where you have umpteen years to write your first album, your second one is in 6 months. You got to figure that out.
Yeah, that's a theory. That's where the sophomore slump comes from.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to, I think it has a lot more to do with than just that, but that can be a part of it, yes. And so I agree that can be a part of it. But I love this shit right here, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know sophomore slump here. But, I didn't even say it back about 20 minutes ago. Whenever you look up a Testament album, it's like this one and Legacy are like 1 and 2, 2 and 1. As their albums. Like these are the two. I'm glad we decided to tackle this one because this is the one that really broke them out. Legacy would have been a good one to do as well. A little rawer, a little more aggressive. But this is the one where it was like people kind of latched on to Testament as a band. We're like, okay, yeah, this is, here we go. Testament, take us on this ride. This is great stuff, dude.
Yeah. Nice.
I kind of see this as like whenever they're doing songs about like religion and the preacher, of course, what's he doing? He's trying to take advantage. He's trying to...
Right. He's trying to make
listen to the sound sinister. It sounds like someone preaching to people and some guy yelling in the background, trying to fight against it.
Awesome.
I love this shit, dude.
Right.
I sit there and I'm like trying to pick it apart. Oh, this. the band was like, it was about some guy we knew that was a preacher. He was a cool guy or something, dude. Like, I'll be way off.
Right? Or when we were kids, this was how we thought the preacher, did this in school, or, if we went to church or something like that.
You want to talk about this one?
Yeah, this is a cover song. That it took me like 3 or 4 listens to like, how do I know this song? This sounds like familiar. And when the lyrics didn't come up, or I was like, this doesn't sound right, I did a little more investigating. It's an Aerosmith song. I was like, damn, fucking Joe Perry and Steven Tyler. Nobody's fault.
Nobody's fault. So when I when I was listening to this album, I was like the chorus. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was like, it didn't sound like a Testament song to me.
Right? It doesn't sound like.
And I don't remember the song from Aerosmith. It's from like 1976, I think, or 75. Like, I like this part.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, this doesn't sound like a Testament song. Of course, I look, you see on Spotify who wrote the song. I go,
Yeah.
oh shit, this is an Aerosmith song? I didn't know that. Of course, I had to go back and listen to the Aerosmith version. It's good. It rocks, dude. Not this hard, but it's actually, I was like, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like that they did this song, and they don't like this song. I think it's great. It is I honestly, I pretty much like all the songs kind of the same. There's nothing that I would say, eh. So this one is right in there with the best of them, and I really like that it's a cover. And besides the fact of me going, this doesn't sound like a Testament song, they did a great job of this cover. They did a great job.
I think so too, and I think like the way the lyrics were, you can obviously tell that this was how they were writing their songs. It had to be somebody different.
Yeah.
Another or a cover song and stuff. But yeah, definitely good. Loved what you said about it, man. Nice.
I do. It kind of does fit them lyrically though, because it's kind of almost, a lot of these guys talk about it's at some level good versus bad. No matter what side you're on, that's not really the important part of a lot of these bands. Sometimes you're singing it, you're on the bad side. Sometimes you're on the good side. It's really like, we're doing from my understanding is that the song was written about like the world and how we're destroying it and how no one wants to take blame for it.
Yeah.
But you can almost kind of fit this into anything. People are destroying, people are violating, people are doing all these things. It's not my fault. Nobody wants to take a blame. No one wants to take, credit for or not necessarily credit. No one wants to be the one that takes a blame for anything.
Sure.
So that's kind of what this song is right here. It's great. It got testamentified. I was trying to figure out what word I was going to say for that.
I like that.
I loved it, dude. And they made a music video for it.
Oh, I got to look that one up.
It's so funny because they're like backstage, but it's not like concert. It's almost like a theater looking backstage, and some German guy comes and goes, "Testament, you go on in 2 minutes." It's just funny, dude. And then, they go off playing. It's got like shots of them around the city and stuff like that. But
cool. I got to check that out.
Yeah, you got to check that one out. Nobody's fault. All right. We're going to go track number 9, A Day of Reckoning. Yeah.
See, just that title says Testament all over it, dude.
I agree, dude.
Right?
I agree. You never want to face the Day of Reckoning.
Right? Good thrash.
Which is, here's kind of, it's not even ironic. It is ironic, but it's done on purpose. What did I just kind of say the last song was about? Now we got the Day of Reckoning. Okay, motherfuckers.
Nobody.
You guys
wants
are doing
to
all
face-
this. No one wants to take the blame. No one wants to be accountable. There is going to be a Day of Reckoning. And whether or not these songs are, obviously it's an Aerosmith and a Testament song. Whether or not, maybe they did this on purpose or not, but I think that's a great little 1-2 punch, a 1-2 story right there where it's like, no one wants to claim you're going to do all this shit. But here comes your Day of Reckoning. Now everybody's got to pay the cost.
Yes.
I love it, dude.
Awesome.
A lot of, the tempo. See, that's very creative right there. That was very creative. It was almost like a time change right there with the rhythm and the tempo of the song. A lot of that in Testament. It's great, dude. And they weren't trying to be like a Metallica. And I've said this before. Let's see, and even Kurt Hammett has said it before. Let's see how many riffs we can throw into 6 minutes. Let's see, 27 different riffs. Let's go. These guys were doing like, you know, a riff, couple riffs, 2-3 riffs. Let's change the time. Let's change the phrase of the song a little bit, keeping it within what we're really doing in the song, and they do it great. I have developed, and this is always a great thing to say about a band, I have developed a newfound, because I was never into Testament. I was never really into this style of music. Like I said earlier, my brother got me into it. I've listened to it. I'm familiar with it. But I couldn't sit here and sing any of these songs. I don't know the lyrics like by heart of any of these songs. But since listening to this and doing this episode, I have gained such a new respect and a new love of especially Testament, dude. I think they're great, and I'm definitely going to go and explore more of their stuff so maybe some Testament coming in the future, dude. I thought this was great. And this is a show where we talk about music. This is a show where we give our opinion. But the best part is discovering things. So let's be honest. We can't listen to every album and every song from all points of our lives. When I was a teenager, I wasn't listening to Testament. I wasn't listening to this. I wasn't listening to that. Now I'm going back. I'm revisiting or finding things for the first time. This is an album that I'm really finding for the first time. When we decided to do it, what's the breakthrough? Let's do this one. I got to go listen to it. Okay, I knew like one or two of the songs I maybe have heard. I go, okay, that's over here. The rest of it, I had no idea.
Right?
So the best part of this show for me, selfishly, is finding new music, rediscovering music that I forgot, and falling in love with things all over again. It's like, man, I wish I could go back and watch The Office for the first time. I wish I could, go back and hear this album that I love for the first time, experience that first time falling in love. I get to do that like on a weekly basis sometimes. Not every week, not with every album, not with every show, but enough for it to be meaningful.
Yeah.
And I love being able to do that with you and do it with the whole nation, and it's definitely one of the benefits of doing this show, and it's one of my favorite parts.
I want to agree with you. You said that perfectly. That's how I really felt about. I didn't say this in the past Pantera album. There were some things I just maybe forgot or haven't revisited in a while. Same thing with this one. Really, Chris? I knew 2 songs, and the rest of it is all brand new.
Mm-hmm.
All brand new. Finding it, listening to it, and digesting it. And you're right. Some of these songs are just super killer where they're just great. And I don't want to say I haven't been a Testament fan. I have been. I have some of their albums. It's just, did I spend a lot of time invested in it? No, but man, this is just great. We're on the final track right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, this is just great too. I have to say that, man.
Testament is one of those bands that you have to purposefully listen to them because they're not going to be on the radio. Never really were.
Yeah.
And except for those couple of videos, they never really were all over in your face on MTV. So you really had to go out and purposely find them to really fall in love with them. And I love the fact that we purposely went out and grabbed hold of them. And
yeah,
this is one of the. This is going to be in my rotation.
Yeah,
this is going to be in my mix.
Let me say something that we were talking about about this. You know how we were talking about the modern sound and modern things? Like these guys have their sound this, and this was in early part of the 80s, if I'm right, Chris? On this?
86, I believe.
All right, 86.
This was released. 88, I'm sorry, guys, 88.
When I was doing my homework on this, I started to watch a couple of documentaries. And do you remember the new guitarist or the producer of the new Judas Priest album? Andy...
Oh, I can't remember the name.
I forgot what his name was. All right, well, he helped produce a Testament album when they did it like 3 albums ago. In the 2000s, late 2000s. Yeah, and I was like, get out of town. And I was, and I saw him, his house in, England and doing it. And, just imagine what he did with Testament then and what he's doing now with Priest. I go, man, this guy's great, man. He goes, he understands us. Andy Sneap, sorry. He produced a few of Testament's prior albums. So if this album, New Order, is number 2, he's produced number 10, 11, and 12 of Testament's album and give him a different modern sound. Mm-hmm. I love it, and I thought it was great of these guys now still able to still rock today, still come out with great albums, and go forth. Love it. And I love this song too.
Great, dude. Great speech, Churchill. Hey, let's... No, I'm just fucking with
Right.
you. We got like 2 minutes left here.
All right.
Let me go through a couple things, and then we'll... 2007 Revolver called this one of the 20 essential 80s thrash albums.
Awesome.
That's...
Yeah.
80s is the heyday of thrash. 2014, this album was on 14 thrash albums you need to own list. Loudwire in 2016. This is their second best album. I think it's their best. 2017, well, I'm going to have to go back and listen to more of them. 2017, Loudwire listed as the 18th best thrash album, so it's in the 20, 14, 18. Decibel inducted them into the Hall of Fame, and Loudwire has placed it among the best metal albums of 1988. I don't know if I have anything else to say.
Oh, man, that's great, man.
Oh, wait, yes, I do. Hit number 136 on the Billboard 200.
That's not too bad.
No singles charted.
Yeah.
Not even one-time platinum. But that's okay. You don't expect it from any of the thrash bands. Sans your big four, really.
Correct. If you talk about the big four, yeah, you talk about platinum. You're talking about these guys. If they hit gold, great. Phenomenal. Sounds good. You know what I mean? Like, hey, it's out there. People are still doing it. Maybe people are dub taping or doing something else. Awesome.
You know where you can get a hold of us?
Where?
Instagram, TikTok, at BigTalkCG.podcast, YouTube and Facebook. Search the Big Talk Podcast with Chris and Greg. That's Greg with 3 G's, 1 in the front, 2 in the back. Take us out, Greg.
All right, this is Greg from the Big Talk Podcast with Chris and Greg. Thank you for letting us hear Testament, the New Order. See ya next week.